Scarlet and Violet Pokemon 151 is going absolutely insane right now. The prices are getting absolutely astronomical and a lot of cards are getting out of reach for a lot of collectors. But what if I told you there's a way that you can still get a lot of the Pokemon 151 products at retail at a store near you, or even online from the convenience of your couch? What? I'm going to take you all through a lot of the websites that I've been getting a lot of Pokemon 151 product from. We're going to take a look at some of the market prices of these cards too, both PSA graded and raw on TCG Player. We have been getting plenty of 151 product. Yes, we do get some from distro, but man, I've had a lot of luck from these sources that I'm about to show you as well. So first off, we have the obvious choice, which is PokemonCenter.com. So make sure that you guys are checking this website pretty regularly around 7 or 8 a.m. if you're awake at those hours. That is usually when they do restock for the most part on these items. Now, I haven't seen the mini tins restocked in probably about a week on here, but those were the most recent restock that I have seen. We've seen these and the 6-pack bundles as well on the Pokemon Center website, so keep an eye out on them. A lot of people forget about Pokemon Center, but it's the main place you should be checking every now and then. I personally have had the most success checking around 7 or 8 a.m., and I am on Eastern Standard Time, so depending on what time zone you are in, Eastern Standard Time Zone is the New York time zone for the United States, so you can compare it depending on that time frame. Next up is Walmart.com, guys. They've been restocking these calendar collections pretty frequently. I would definitely keep Walmart on your radar. And this is not the overpriced versions, not the third-party sellers. They are selling these for $15.98, and you're able to get 12 of these at a time, which means you're able to get 2 cases worth of these poster collections. So we got some of these last Thursday. We got 2 cases worth. We've already gotten, I think we opened a couple on stream the other day, and we've been using them for our series actually, which has been a lot of fun. But I haven't seen Walmart.com restock anything else recently other than the poster collections, but there have been multiple drops for these, so I'd definitely keep an eye on Walmart.com. One of the more recent drops we actually had at Best Buy, they released more of the mini tins yesterday, actually while we were on our live stream in the afternoon. It was probably around like 2 or 3 o'clock, but they were limiting them to 1 tin per person. I don't know why they would limit them to 1 single tin per person. Seems kind of odd. Usually there's a max amount of 5 or 10, but they were limiting 1 tin per person, and I'm sure you probably could have did multiple orders, but it's just a little awkward to do 1 single item of a $10 item, but who knows. But Best Buy did restock these again yesterday. As of the filming this video, it's actually today when they restocked them, but you guys are going to be seeing this video tomorrow, so they restocked them yesterday. And Best Buy also restocked the 6-pack bundles last week as well, so make sure that you are keeping an eye on bestbuy.com. Now, I do think you can actually set this to notify you as well when they go back in stock, so definitely take advantage of hitting the notify me buttons on any of these websites so that you get alerts whenever any of these get back in stock, so you can try to pick up some of these items. All right, now Target.com actually last week got all of the products at some point back in stock. The ones that went the quickest were obviously the Elite Trainer boxes. They went super fast. I think this lasted for about 5 minutes. This was about, I think, last Wednesday when these launched, but these ones haven't been recent. This was last week when these were launched and available. But again, keep an eye on Target because we did get the poster collections about the same time, but the most recent that we saw during our live stream, we actually halted our live stream yesterday. For those of you that were there, hopefully some of you were able to get this. We halted the live stream, and I told everybody that this link was available since I got an update and an alert. The Zapdos EX boxes and the Alakazam EX boxes were all available on Target.com. And again, you guys can hit the notify me button. Sometimes these are delayed, so sometimes you might still miss out on the deal. But it is definitely worth it to go ahead, put your email in, or if you have a Target Circle account, you'll get notified on there. But definitely, Target.com, again, guys, was one of the most recent ones for restocks. And these lasted, I want to say, for about 10 to 15 minutes before members and patrons of the channel were saying they couldn't get it anymore. All right, so next up is kind of one that a lot of people don't know about, but it is super important. You guys can find so much stuff on here. Now, it does say Pokemon Center, but guys, these are Pokemon automated retail vending machines. Now, these can be found anywhere from Fry's Electronics, depending on if there's Fry's Electronics in your state, or a lot of the states here, you guys are gonna find these in Kroger. Now, one state in particular, I want you guys to look at how many of these vending machines you have, okay? I did a video on this. If you guys go back on our channel, I'll put the thumbnail up there so you can see it. But we actually saw a couple of these vending machines locally to me, so you guys can see what they look like and stuff. But man, oh man, look at how many of these vending machines there are in Texas. If you guys live in Texas, there are so many. And look how many there are just in Houston alone. This is insane. You guys have 20 of these across Houston. I know Houston's a pretty big city, but man, that is a lot of those vending machines. You guys can get ETBs and 6-pack bundles from these machines, but you can also get the water and lightning tins, which feature some evolving skies. So that is another thing you could potentially pick up from these vending machines. So keep an eye out on these and make sure that you are going back and checking this list to see if you have any in your area, because they keep dropping more. I've had 3 dropped in my area in the last 2 weeks, 3 new ones that we did not have yet. So they are dropping more and more of these vending machines from the Pokemon Center, and they are official Pokemon Center machines. We have never had any issues with them. If you guys have had issues with these machines, let me know down in the comments and let me know personally if you had any bad experiences with them. But around here where I live in Georgia, I've had no issues at all. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the market. Charizard is still like the big talk of the scene right now. Everything going on with Charizard. You guys do see a near mint copy here listed for $249, but market has cooled down a little bit on Charizard. You're seeing some copies in here. Lightly played is still not near mint, but you are going to see some near mints from anywhere from $175 upwards of $250. The range is very wide on this, but if you look at the sales data, you still see a lot of sales for near mint in that 200 range. So that is pretty consistent for the sales. Now, obviously, if you guys are checking TCG Player, make sure that you are double checking the lower sale prices. If you see any for like 140, 150, click the listing, because sometimes those are the Japanese sales and you don't want to get confused with that. The good thing about the Japanese sales is it does not affect the overall market price. You will see the data on this list, but you will not see it affect the market price of the listing. Now, 2 cards that are on the move really fast are the Venusaur and the Blastoise. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Venusaur first. And man, oh man, the 1-month chart on this thing is insane. Less than a week ago, right at a week ago, we went from $47 all the way to $56 market price, but take a look at the sales on this bad boy. Take a look at the sales here. You got some at 85 for near mint haul. They're all over the place. 71, 85. Someone actually got one for 46, a couple for 46 here later on in the day. But man, so many near mint listings selling for 70 and 80 bucks. This card has climbed so much in such a short period of time, and it has now surpassed the Blastoise, which currently is sitting at $75 market price. But if you look at sales data, you guys are going to see some selling for over $100, which is wild. These 2 cards, the Blastoise and the Venusaur, are so tough to price. Like, if I'm going to price them out and buy them on TCG Player, it's so hard for me right now to figure out what price I want to buy at, because when you see them selling for $103, but then you see some selling at $78, that's a big difference. Now, 2 cards that I personally think that you guys need to keep on your radar, one of which is the Zapdos. I think the Zapdos is kind of the next one that's primed for takeoff. I do think this is one of the most beautiful illustrations in the set. This and the Alakazam are probably my 2 favorite illustrations in the set. But the market on this has definitely been moving a lot lately, and it's been a pretty steady climb. You're able to get these for like $33 not too long ago, and now these are up to $50 on the market price. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the sales here. Most of them are around the $50 range, 45 to 50. It looks like pretty consistently throughout the course of the last day. Earlier today, you got one in here for 45, but again, 45 to 50 or even 55 for these cards pretty much all day. You had one that sold at 40. Not too sure if that was a near mint holofoil that was miscentered. Could have been a really poorly centered copy, but still considered near mint. A lot of times if they're providing a picture, it's to show you a defect on the card, or if it's Japanese, one or the other. All right, so now one card I'm gonna leave you guys with here. This is the last thing I wanna talk about. The Mew EX from Paldean Fates. No, this is not from 151. This is from Paldean Fates. Now, if you remember correctly, I talked about this card not too long ago. I want to say it was probably about a month ago. You were able to get copies of this, guys, for $75 to $80. I told you that is extremely undervalued for this card. The artwork's amazing. It's an extremely popular Pokemon, and I think that some of the artwork in Paldean Fates is definitely primed, but what's preventing it from moving up as high as 151 is that there is a lot of product available out there. You saw plenty of the tech sticker collections. You can still get the ETBs at a lot of the big box stores, mini tins, 6-pack bundles. Everything's been still available for Paldean Fates, but take a look at this movement, guys. Market price is up to $126, but look at the listings. Look at the current listings on here and sold listings. We have a sale for $143, $125, $150, $150 over the last day. The Bubble Mew has been going absolutely insane. So this is another one to keep on your radar. If you guys have a couple of these, I honestly think if you have maybe more than a couple, if you have some spares, I might take some profits off of this just because I feel like this set is still very, very accessible. If we see the products start to dry up, that would probably be a good time to get more of these, but I think that a lot of people kind of move their money away from 151 and they're kind of trying to focus on something else, and I think this is where a handful of those people moved their focus to. So you could see this potentially have a pretty big retracement. So you guys see a really big up climb here of 50%. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 20% retracement back down pretty quickly off of this card, only because the product that it is coming from is still readily available. But still an amazing card, definitely something to keep on your radar. Keep an eye on it. If it starts ticking up, if you have copies, definitely keep an eye on that so you guys can cash in on some of those profits. That's gonna do it for me. Hopefully this video helped you guys out, track down some of these products. Definitely make sure that you all are hitting that notify me button on these websites, because it's very, very important if you don't want to miss out on any of the product drops. But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video or the next live.